listen to this.
Today, let us nourish the mind with wisdom, infusing it into the life element formless, empty, clear, and pure. From this moment on, we should all begin studying the subject of mind enlightenment. We each have a mind, yet we remain unaware of it. We are life elements, natural elements that are timeless and unbreakable. We have never been born, and we will never decay. We are elements that neither come nor go, devoid of darkness or light. We are supremely clear, supremely pure, the original element, the immortal element that existed before all things. We are the zero element, an element beyond time and dimension, without form, without characteristics of any kind. The nature of our essence longs for the knowledge of wisdom and thus requires tools and vessels to learn about all things and to come to know itself. This is all we truly need, nothing more. Yet this knowledge has never been taught to us since we were children. I too lived my whole life without anyone clearly teaching me this truth, and so I must now declare the subject of mind enlightenment to all, for the sole purpose of liberating us from suffering in this very life. We will not be reborn again. This will be our final lifetime. Share my recording with everyone in this world so that all may hear it, children can listen, and even pregnant mothers can play it for their unborn children. And we will all be liberated from suffering and awaken to the pure original element within. The unborn child will also awaken. It is a direct transmission from mind to mind. Our lives will change. From being lost in self, from being entangled in this world, suffering through countless matters, we will transform into those who do not suffer over anything. We will become radiant, smiling beings who see this world as nothing but emptiness. We will no longer perceive any obstacles or problems whatsoever. We will not suffer from stress, bipolar disorder, depression, gastric ailments, or the sleeplessness caused by obsessive thinking. We will no longer suffer from stress-related diseases, which can lead to cancer and numerous other conditions. We will become bright and joyful beings. This world will enter an era of peace, sharing, and mutual support. The whole world will talk only about the mind, about mind enlightenment, about the cessation of suffering, about the wondrous nature of the mind. We will step into a new era, an era where the mind alone is used, free from clinging to material things in this world. We will have mindfulness, concentration, and the wisdom to see clearly. Society will flourish and become truly harmonious. Share my recordings with children, the elderly, the disabled, women, men, every gender, every age, every caste, every status, every belief, every religion, every nationality, every race. As I said, we all have a mind, a pure life element, but we remain unaware of our own pure element. The knowledge we pursue in this world is all about material things. But imagine this: we are residing in this world. This means that we are a part of nature, a natural essence that temporarily resides in this world. This also means that this world is not truly ours. We are merely residing in this body, a vessel of form. This signifies that we ourselves are a natural essence without form, and so we come to reside within a vessel that has form. Understand this point clearly. It is a subtle yet essential distinction. This body is not truly ours, for it cannot last long. Sooner or later, it will break down and die. We must come to accept this truth. We are residing within this body, which means that if the body ceases to function, it could die for any reason. We could be walking and slipping, hitting our head, and it ends. We could be walking, and a car could strike us, over. A branch could fall and crush us, over. This body does not last long, as I said, especially in this era when we are constantly harming and destroying one another. The lifespan of the body is shortening more and more. When this body decays and dies, there is still one part of us that does not die along with it, our mind, our pure life element, the immortal element within us. It will drift away and attach to a new vessel, beginning to learn anew. That new body will gradually grow, struggling to survive, eating and consuming, living and dying, and most often it will be born as an animal. The chance of being born as a human is extremely rare. How many millions of species of animals exist in this world? And within each species, how many millions of individual animals are there? Each one is a mind, a consciousness residing within a vessel. The opportunities to be born as a human are extremely slim. Currently, there are only 8 billion human minds residing in human vessels. The number of minds residing in animal vessels is truly infinite, countless. Think about it, just in the water alone, how many life elements are dwelling in aquatic creatures? The number is incalculable. Then consider the creatures on land, beneath the ground, in the air, and even those that dwell beyond earth, in the vastness of space. Minds occupy all sorts of vessels, large and small, with no limit to the forms they can inhabit. Therefore, the percentage of being born as a human is only 0.001%. It is extremely rare. 99.999% of life elements are born as animals. And so our life element continues to seek out new vessels, consuming and being consumed in turn. When they eat us, we feel anger, hatred, and revenge. When we eat them, they feel the same toward us. This cycle of eating and being eaten perpetuates itself as we cling to these physical forms. But when the body dies, the mind, the life element, remains untouched by any of it. We are minds, pure and formless, supremely clear and untainted. We have never truly been born into this world. It is merely that our life element sends forth a current of energy to attach to a vessel, and through that attachment mental fabrications arise. We cling to the illusion of having been born, but in truth we have never been born at all. Understand this deeply. Imagine we exist in another world, a world without form. We are formless, transparent, like a pure element existing on a star, a special star that is also formless and empty. In order to experience and learn about the world, we must send forth energy to attach to the material vessels in that world. When the energy successfully attaches, we begin to communicate with that vessel. Once communication begins, we take ownership of it as our body. We then start to develop tools, the fabrications. We perceive, and from perception, emotions arise. We create another tool, the ability to remember and recall images. We begin to think, to form concepts, to learn languages, and to speak. Thus, we begin to have tools, a physical body as a vessel, and sensory perceptions to communicate in this world. We start to live in this world, yet we remain separate. We are life elements dwelling in another place. We are the pure life element, temporarily residing in a vessel for the purpose of learning. We need nothing. We are here only to learn. And until we have learned to the utmost subtlety, the realization that none of these phenomena are truly us, that all things arise and dissolve on their own, that all forms are impermanent, that all phenomena are merely natural processes appearing, existing, and disintegrating on their own, until we understand that all things are devoid of self and devoid of ownership, that all things are just the cycle of suffering arising to break apart, transform, and change, that all things are utterly devoid of any true substance. Until then, we will remain trapped in the cycle of ignorance, endlessly attaching to vessels in this world and beyond. This is the kind of knowledge that the mind, the life element, truly seeks. Until the mind or the life element gains this understanding, it will continue to reside in vessels and generate fabrications. As I said, this body will not last long. Most of the time, we are born as animals, consuming and being consumed. Once the body is devoured, the mind sends forth a current to attach to a new vessel, a new body, and then it begins again, holding on, learning, using a new language to communicate, perceiving, forming emotions, recalling images, learning to use language through the patterns of that specific vessel. We consume and are consumed to sustain the body first and foremost. Once we grow, we begin to communicate. If we were to reside in an aquatic vessel, there would be no elders to teach us. You are the mind, a formless, clear, and pure life element. This body is not truly your body. The voice you use to communicate is merely a tool. It has no inherent self. There is no one to teach that the voice is not a true entity. The body itself is not our real self either. The awareness that perceives sound right now, that perceives this communication, it perceives by itself. Do you see how it perceives on its own? It hears sound on its own. There is no need to intentionally hear. It simply hears. It perceives sound effortlessly. Where is the self in all this? Let the mind or life element answer this for itself. Once it can accept this truth, it will begin to release its grip. The mind or life element will detach from the vessel and realize the profound emptiness, the radiant clarity of its true nature. It will understand that it is the emptiness that merges with the emptiness before it, blending with the vast emptiness throughout the universe. It will become everything. See clearly that the voice speaks on its own, thoughts arise on their own, emotions surface on their own, and all of it dissolves on its own. Awareness perceives on its own. See it clearly. There is no self in any of this. If aquatic parents or elders had taught us this from a young age, we would not have suffered over anything. We would not have been reborn again. But such beings cannot teach this. When a body is devoured and dies, the mind moves on to adopt another form. It goes to inhabit a vessel in the underworld, becoming an earth-dwelling creature, continuing the cycle of ignorance and attachment. There is no species of animal that has elders to teach us. You are the mind, the pure life element. This body is not you. The voice you use to communicate is not your voice. The perception you experience is not your perception. None of these things belong to you. They are merely tools. See clearly that the voice speaks on its own, that it produces sound by itself, that it perceives on its own. The body functions on its own. It breathes on its own. The heart beats on its own. Look closely. Every system in this body operates autonomously. There is nothing that is truly us. We are the life element, my child, a formless, transparent essence. Oh. But no animal elder teaches this, right? Instead, bodies perish through causes and conditions, eating and being eaten, harboring anger and hatred back and forth. And then we, the life element, depart from the body, drifting away and sending forth energy to attach to a new vessel. If we attach to a bird's body, we begin again, learning, eating, and being eaten once more. There is no species of bird whose parents or elders teach. You are the mind, the life element. Number. When they meet, they only think of eating each other. If we are larger, we consume them. If they are larger, they consume us. Life becomes nothing but a cycle of eating, sleeping, and waking up only to eat and sleep again, until finally dying from this world, perhaps to be reborn as a tiny insect in the air. But regardless of the species, the cycle is the same. We are extremely fortunate to reside in a human vessel. We are so fortunate because the human form has evolved to think, to reason with a profound level of logic. Yet, even though we have gained this human form, no adult, whether parents, relatives, uncles, aunts, teachers, or anyone in the world, has ever taught us this truth. When we are born as a human, we are just one mind inhabiting a human vessel. But once we inhabit the human form, we begin to divide ourselves into groups, into nations. This is my land. We divide land and territories, separate tribes, create societies. My society is in the forests, in the mountains. We are the forest people. My society is in the cities. We are civilized people. My society is in the fields and farms. We live in simplicity, cultivating the land peacefully. My society is one of criminals, looters, and thieves. Thus, as humans, we keep dividing, separating, and creating distinctions, all while forgetting our true essence, the formless, pure life element that remains unchanged, regardless of the vessel. We come to inhabit this body, but that means we are not this body. This is clearly stated. We merely dwell in this vessel, yet we are deluded. We become lost in the belief that we are this body. Every being, every mind that comes to reside in a human vessel is completely lost in this delusion, lost in the belief that this is truly our body. But the truth is, this body belongs to no one, not even to us. Soon it will die. It will not last long. Days and nights pass swiftly by, and what are we doing in this fleeting time? acting no differently than animals, waking up only to scavenge for food, struggling, competing, destroying one another from morning until night, endless chaos, arguing, fighting, creating conflict, all for what? For pieces of paper, which we call money. We are born only to become slaves to money, slaves to society. We struggle from morning until evening for money, for paper. That's it. We have fabricated a concept, a convention, declaring this as money, this as valuable. We call this piece a coin, that one gold, this one a diamond, attaching value to mere objects. We do not realize that we are the mind, the life element. Instead, we are entangled with paper, with stones, bricks, and clay, with the material elements of this world. Whoever has the most stones is considered the greatest, the most powerful. But what is the use of that? You can only eat one plate of rice. Even with the most money, what do you gain? Just one plate of rice. We are taught to study the worldly sciences, to earn countless degrees, millions of them, and for what? To eat one plate of rice, to become slaves to paper, to become slaves to stones. We struggle and strive to gather paper and stones, believing they are ours, and then this body collapses and dies. Where are the things we claimed as ours? We collected so many stones. Where are they now? We amassed so much paper. Where is it now? When the body dies, we cast our current out to cling to another vessel, to occupy another body, to become another being, perhaps to be devoured by other creatures. And where is all the wealth we once claimed? Where are all those riches, the stacks of paper, the heaps of stones? We are reborn as some water creature, or perhaps a land animal, or a bird in the sky. Is this what we are truly seeking? Right now, we call ourselves human, but if this body dies right now, will we call ourselves a sea creature, or a land animal, or an underground insect, or a bird? When will we understand? Days and nights pass by, and we still do not know what we truly want. What are we searching for? Are we seeking only to eat? Are we seeking stones and paper? Are we seeking a new prison? Are we searching for another cage to dwell in? How did we end up in this body, this prison? We keep longing for a new body, a new cage. But what is it we truly want? And when this body breaks apart and dies, where will we go? We do not know. When will we know? When will there be someone in this world to teach us that we are the mind, the life element, vast and empty, pure and clear, an immortal element? I have no doubt about this. I have already reversed the flow, awakened inwardly, and I have taught many people. Many have entered the group, the Panya Vimutti. There are those who listened to my tape just once and immediately realized the truth, breaking free from the illusion of being human. They awakened fully to the reality that we are the pure element. Nothing at all is truly us. Whenever we awaken to this truth, we will no longer suffer over anything, and we will no longer be reborn. If we realize that we have no form, that this body is not ours, I keep emphasizing this. It is not our body. We will see clearly that this body is born only to disintegrate. It will not last long. It is not our body. If this vessel of flesh is not our body, then why do we struggle, compete, fight, harbor anger, hatred, revenge, and even kill one another just to seize land, paper, and stones? What is the point? If we truly know that this is not our body and that we are the pure element, the immortal element, then what happens? Everyone will live on this earth without boasting, without destroying others. There will only be sharing. When we see someone struggling, we will share what we have. We won't cling to anything because nothing truly belongs to us. We will talk only about the mind. Those who have much will share with those who have little. Food will be distributed to everyone. Resources and conveniences will be shared. Everyone will live together in harmony, just like termites in a colony. Termites help one another, sharing food, building their nest together, working in different sections, supporting one another without division. They cooperate entirely, without separation. We will become noble beings. There will be no more killing, no more fighting over land. Why fight? The earth belongs to the world. It is not ours. Stay wherever you are. Live together. Share with one another, for nothing truly belongs to us. Imagine it this way. Suppose we realize that we are a part of nature that does not truly dwell in this world and is not connected to it in any way. We are only here to learn, to experience everything one last time. We are just visitors in this world, taking our final tour. With this understanding, we would see clearly, why argue or fight over anything? Nothing belongs to us. We are just passing through. Understand this clearly. We are only inhabiting this vessel temporarily. We have no form. We have never been born, never aged, never fallen ill, and never died. We have never truly been anything at all. The voice that speaks, the sound that arises, it is just a function, a tool to be used in this world. Notice this. If we can see that the inner voice that speaks, the constant stream of thoughts, is simply a natural occurrence meant to be used while we are in this world, we will feel a profound sense of lightness and freedom. Understand it like this, and it will dissolve all tension. Observe the images we conjure up, the images of parents, memories of places we have visited, our workplace, our problems. While we are imagining, can we see that these images have no form, no substance, nothing we can grasp? We cannot mold a thought into a solid shape. We cannot hold a sound in our hands. Emotions of happiness, contentment, suffering, dissatisfaction, these too are just functions, tools to be used in this world. They are just manifestations. They have no form. They cannot be grasped. They arise due to causes and conditions. And when those causes and conditions dissipate, they dissolve as well. None of these things belong to anyone. They are simply tools to be used while we dwell in this world. They are functions that accompany the body vessel. When there is a vessel, there will be such manifestations. We are merely here to visit this vessel and to use these functions for a brief time. When we can grasp this truth, we will be liberated from everything. The functions will still operate as they always have, but we will no longer foolishly cling to them as ours. This is the essence of wisdom. The sensations we are currently aware of, hearing sounds, smelling scents, seeing sights, tasting flavors, feeling heat or cold, these sensations are merely tools to be used in this world. These functions arise because we inhabit this vessel, and they exist only as temporary tools. We are merely visitors here. If we truly understand that we have nothing to do with these sensations, that we are simply passing through, it will become as light and easy as a dream. Imagine that we have entered a world of robots. We become a robot and suddenly it can do everything, perceive, think, feel. But this robot is designed to last only 2 months. We have been given a passport to live in this vessel for just 2 months, and once those 2 months are over, this vessel will stop functioning. We will be reset and returned to our true realm. Picture it like a movie. We dwell in another world, a world without suffering, a world where we have no form. And whenever we wish to experience any life, we simply enter a particular vessel. Once we enter, it automatically assigns us a form. We become a current latching onto that vessel, and we live out an entire life as if it were truly ours. But when the body dies, we return to the original pure element. And if we still haven't found the answer, we go seeking another vessel, endlessly repeating the cycle, endlessly being reborn until we finally grasp the truth. This is what wisdom is, to realize that the body vessel is not us, not ours. This is why I am here, to point this out clearly. If we can truly understand that this vessel is not us, not ours, and truly grasp it within our hearts, a profound lightness will arise. The burden will lift, for the body is not ours. We only need to find enough food to sustain the body once a day. That is sufficient. Awaken inwardly, observe, listen to my tapes, and grasp this truth. This body, this mind, none of it is us, none of it is ours. If we understand even just this, we will no longer suffer over anything. Do we wish to be free from suffering? Do we wish to never be reborn again? Make a vow. Tell yourself, from this very moment onward, let every mind throughout the infinite universe bear witness. From this moment on, I will diligently listen to these teachings. I will awaken within. I will observe thoughts, mental images, emotions, sensations of knowing. I will see them clearly as natural phenomena, functioning on their own, not as me, not as mine. I will see this truth and will not foolishly cling to these phenomena. I will let them function as they do without grasping. I will realize the pure element. I will not be reborn again. This will be my final life. And once I fulfill this vow and realize the pure element, I will share this knowledge with everyone. I will speak only of the pure element. I will teach the knowledge of mental awakening. I will join the 𝙤𝙨𝙯𝙬 team, carrying out this mission together to free everyone from suffering, to enter the core of world peace. No one will harm one another. May this vow be fulfilled. Listen to my tapes often. At first, you won't understand. That is because you have never heard teachings on mental awakening before. When I was growing up, no elder ever taught me this. Right now, within the 𝙤𝙯𝙯 team, which I have shared this knowledge with, there is a group dedicated to teaching children about the mind. These children have developed the inner vision to perceive the truth, to return all minds to the pure element. They learn to see that they themselves are clear, pure, luminous minds. They see that this body, these thoughts, these emotions, these sensations of knowing, none of it is them, none of it belongs to them. My team is currently teaching this. It has nothing to do with any sect, any religion, or any country. Anyone with children who wants to connect with us can reach out. We teach online. Many children have learned and their lives have completely changed. I have said it before, if we do not realize the mind, we will develop a condition called the cycle of repetitive thinking, endlessly caught in the chatter of the mind. We constantly rely on these thoughts, on the voice that speaks within our minds. Even everything I have said from the beginning until now, it's just this voice talking continuously. We rely on this voice to assign meaning, to identify, to declare, this is my body. The voice says this, but look at your arm, look at your leg. Do they say anything? This voice says, this is my left leg, this is my right leg. But the body itself does not say anything. It is just a mass of flesh that functions without language, merely responding to sensations. Look at a tree. Does it say what it is? It is only the voice we speak with our mouth, or the voice we speak silently within that says, that's a mango tree. But if you ask that tree what it is, does it say anything? The only voice saying anything is the one in our own mind. Everything is merely an image appearing for our mind to perceive. The function of knowing simply knows, it does not speak. There is another function, the thinking mind, which assigns value and meaning. When the mind or the life element comes to dwell in the body vessel, it must rely not only on the body but also on the tools of perception. We are not just using the body, we are using the functions of perception as well. The function of knowing simply perceives, but it cannot speak. The function of speaking serves only to articulate. It is the voice. You could also call it thought. Thought assigns value and meaning, saying, oh, that is a house, that is a car, that is a mango tree, that is a Toyota, a Mitsubishi, an Isuzu. This voice assigns meaning to everything, but the function of knowing just knows. It does not speak. Meanwhile, the speaking function speaks, expressing itself through sound. This function only knows how to speak. That is its sole role. All these functions are mere manifestations, tools of the mind. None of them are us. None of them belong to us. We are only using them temporarily. The voice assigns value and meaning to everything. Mental images form and assign visual meaning to everything. Emotions arise as sensations of liking, disliking, or indifference. Happiness and suffering, they are essentially the same. Yet we crave happiness and reject suffering. But both are mere functions, just like the other manifestations. They arise, perform their function, and dissolve. The function of knowing simply knows, without speaking. The function of emotion generates emotions of happiness and suffering, yet it does not speak. The function of forming mental images creates visual images, but it does not speak. But there is one function that never stops speaking, the voice. It thinks, thinks, thinks. We rely on this thinking function. It thinks, it doubts, it thinks it understands, it thinks it remembers, it thinks it feels emotions. This is the voice that assigns meaning to everything. It labels what is perceived, saying, that is a mango tree. The knowing function does not speak, but the voice assigns meaning, saying, that is a mango tree. Try to simply know. Look at everything in the world like this, just seeing without assigning meaning. Everything is just an image, a mere appearance to be known. Even the body itself is something to be known. This function of knowing is not the self-knowing. It knows on its own. This is the nature of knowing. If we can see this and understand it, listen to my tapes often. Listen and listen until my voice echoes in your mind. Listen until the moment of insight arises. Oh, this body vessel never said it was a leg or an arm. It is only the voice that says so. Look at everything. It is only knowing. There are only images appearing to be known. It is the voice that says, that is my car. That is my house. But look closely. Is it truly a house? It is only an image. The wall is not called a house. The electrical outlet is not called a house. The fan is not called a house. None of these things have a name. Do you see? Earth is not inherently called earth. It is just a form. Water is not inherently called water. It is just another form. These are mere appearances that arise to be known. It is the voice that assigns meaning, saying, that is water, that is earth, that is the sky, that is a tree. The voice says, that is a mango tree. But look again. Does that thing say anything? It is only an image appearing to be known. This body vessel is just an image appearing to be known. It is the voice that narrates everything. It assigns meaning to everything. It is like a commentator constantly speaking, endlessly assigning value and meaning to every form and phenomenon. Who can see this clearly, that the voice is not us? It speaks on its own. It is merely a tool to be used temporarily in this world. We are only borrowing it. This is the kind of knowledge that the mind, the life element, needs. If we can truly understand this, it will not be an understanding based on memory. Suppose you are listening to me right now and you think, why don't I understand? Can you see the voice that is speaking? Some people listen and then say, oh, I understand now. But what is it that says it understands? If we can see that the voice saying I understand is not us, that it is just something speaking on its own, then in that moment we will break free. It is a realization that is not based on memory, not based on words. When we go to school, we say we understand something, but that is merely intellectual understanding, knowledge based on memory. It does not penetrate the mind. The mind does not need this superficial knowledge that comes from memory, nor does it need the type of understanding that we are accustomed to. For example, someone might say, oh, now I understand that this body is not me, but then they go about their day and a dog bites them. Immediately they feel the pain and react, oh, that hurts, I'm going to hit that dog, I'll take action against it, how dare it bite me, I will curse it, seek revenge, and sue the owner. And for the next 3 years, they hold on to that grudge. Is that what we call understanding? Absolutely not. This is still being trapped in the illusion that this body is us, that the voice in the mind is us. True understanding is not like that. True understanding liberates us from the voice, from the illusion of self. This level of understanding is subtle, but it still has not reached the depth the mind seeks. The mind seeks a far more refined understanding. A more profound understanding is when we clearly see that the body is walking, the dog bites it, and we know that the dog came from that particular house. Immediately a thought arises, oh, it hurts so much. Why do they always let their dog loose? We see the voice speaking in the mind. We see the feeling of displeasure arising. We observe the voice that is speaking. If we can clearly see that the voice speaking is not us, and that the feeling of displeasure is not our feeling, then we begin to understand that feelings are not truly feelings, they are merely manifestations. We see that the voice is just a function. When we truly grasp that, a deeper understanding arises. We are not human. We understand that these phenomena are simply functions operating on their own. This is the kind of understanding the mind truly seeks. The mind seeks the most refined knowledge, a knowing that is free from all attachment. It is a knowing that clings to nothing, that knows there is nothing that is us or ours, that knows there is no self existing in this world. This is a knowing that has no form, no connection to anything. It is the most refined understanding of all. Let me say it again. The knowledge we learn in the world is knowledge that relies on memory, knowledge that we store in the brain. This kind of knowledge is superficial and crude. It does not penetrate the heart. The refined knowledge sees that everything is simply an image appearing to be known. It sees that the voice is the one that labels it as a mango tree, even though the image itself does not speak. We must see the body as merely an image, the voice as merely a sound, the mental image as merely a mental formation. When a scent is perceived, we see it as just a scent. When a taste is perceived, it is just a taste. Whether it is sweet or bitter, it is just a taste. It is only known in that way. Cold or hot air touches the body, and it is known in that way. Whatever is seen is simply seen in that way. This is the nature of perceiving images. The voice, however, is the one that assigns meaning to whatever is perceived. The voice narrates, "This is the sound of a bird. This is the stench of the sewage. This is a sour car. This is a sweet car." The voice speaks, but the knowing function simply knows. Understand this, the function of knowing only knows in that way, while the voice has its function of speaking. We constantly rely on the voice without seeing that it is only a function, not us. This is the root of delusion, the inability to discern the nature of knowing, the nature of the voice, and the nature of form. This is the true understanding that the mind seeks. Each mind dwells in a vessel. Each mind assigns itself meaning, saying, "I am a man." But do we understand that the mind cannot be male? The mind cannot be female. The mind has no gender. The mind has no parents. Parents cannot give birth to the mind, for the mind is an empty, clear, and pure element that pervades the entire universe. It is the life element, utterly clear and pristine. The mind cannot have parents. The mind cannot have children. The mind cannot have a husband or wife. The mind has never been male or female. The mind has no age. Yet we say, "I am this age. I have this name and surname." But the mind has no name or surname. Understand this clearly. The mind has no fabrications whatsoever. It is clear, pure, the original element, like the empty, clear space that is right in front of us. We cannot grasp it. The sensations of hot and cold air are merely phenomena arising within this clear, empty space. The empty space doesn't know what cold air is or what hot air is. Whether it is oxygen, carbon dioxide, or any type of air, the empty, clear element is unaffected. Air may move, forming wind, but it has nothing to do with the empty space. All phenomena arise and cease within this clear, empty space. They may shift, change, explode, or disintegrate, yet the empty, clear element remains unmoved. Even if an atomic bomb were to be detonated right in front of us, obliterating everything, reducing the body to tiny particles, disintegrating every object into atoms, the clear, empty element would remain completely unaffected. It would not move, it would not go anywhere or come from anywhere. It is utterly untouched. It is not involved in anything. This is the nature of the mind, the life element. It is beyond form, beyond concept, beyond time. But we remain lost in these things that are constantly shifting and changing. We are deluded into believing that they are us, that they truly exist. Yet we are the life element without form, clear, pure, pristine. We are the original element. This is the kind of knowledge that we must listen to repeatedly, understanding it again and again. As we continue to listen, the understanding will deepen. Gradually, the clinging will loosen. When we release our grip on these illusions, listen to my tapes and let the understanding sink in. It will not take long. No matter how long it takes, once we awaken, suffering will no longer arise. Some of us have lived to be 80 years old, practicing various techniques, walking, sitting, meditating in different ways, all in the hope of escaping suffering, of realizing the mind. But after 80 years, what has been gained? Walking skillfully, sitting skillfully, fasting skillfully in the forest, what then? Has the mind awakened to its true nature as the life element, formless, empty, clear, and pure? Do we realize yet that this mind will no longer be reborn? Do we see that nothing at all truly belongs to us, that nothing is truly us? The voice that is speaking, do we see that it is not truly a voice? Do we see that it is merely a phenomenon, something that arises and passes away? The act of hearing, of perceiving sound, do we see that it is happening on its own? Can we see that there is no self, no I, anywhere in this world? If I say, what is known is merely known on its own, then where is the self? If I say, the voice that is speaking is merely speaking on its own, then where is the self? If the mind is feeling pleased, displeased, or neutral, those emotions are functioning on their own. Where is the self? If we see that the body is full on its own, hungry on its own, breathing on its own, that the heart beats on its own, where is the self? Let the mind answer, not through thinking, not through memory, not through speaking, not through saying, oh, now I understand. If we see the statement, I understand now, then ask, who is it that says this? Who is the one saying, I understand? If we see clearly, oh, it is just speaking on its own, it is not me, then where is the self? In that moment, there will be a sudden, profound realization, a breaking free, a complete liberation. This is the kind of understanding, the understanding that the voice that speaks is not us speaking. It is just something moving, something stirring, but what it is, we do not know. The mental images are not us. The emotions are not our emotions. The knowing that is occurring, it is not us knowing. All of it, none of it is us. This is the kind of knowledge we must see directly, seeing clearly that the voice speaking in the mind is not us. And when we see this, it will break free. This kind of understanding is seeing the truth that emotions are not our emotions, that the knowing that is occurring is not us knowing, that the voice speaking and the thoughts arising are not us. When we see this, understand this, tears will flow uncontrollably. They will keep flowing, for the sense of self has dissolved. We used to believe we were human, the child of these parents, a person with a family, someone with a life. But when we come to see the truth that nothing is actually us, that the self does not exist, it is as if we have lost everything we once clung to. We come to inhabit this vessel, and then we cling to it, believing it is us. We come to rely on these tools, on the voice, the images, the emotions, the knowing. We rely on these phenomena, and then we become deluded, believing they are us. But when we see clearly that these phenomena are not us, tears will flow. It is light, it is empty, it is freedom from all that we once relied on. We see the truth that nothing is truly us. And then there is no more suffering. We have transcended everything. We have transcended this world, transcended happiness, transcended suffering, transcended all fabrications. It becomes a profound lightness, a joy that arises from liberation, a joy that comes from realizing that we are the clear, pure element, luminous and free, ever present right before our eyes, right before our heart, always. This is how it is for me all the time. The voice that speaks every day, it no longer feels like a voice. There is no sense that this is my voice. There is no sense that I am speaking. There is no sense that I exist as a person in this world. And there is no sense that anyone is perceiving anything. This is what it is like to speak to human beings. But will human beings understand? This is a transmission from mind to mind. What is occurring now is not a voice. It is a ripple of energy being transmitted to your mind. Our minds are also energy, receiving and perceiving in order to understand, nothing more. When we listen and realize that every word being spoken, every single word is devoid of self, that it is not us speaking, but merely a phenomenon arising and passing away, if we can see it this way, we will understand that there is no self. We will see that the voice is not a voice. We will see that images, emotions, and the knowing function are not us. They are merely ripples on the surface of clear, empty space, like the surface tension of water. When something touches the surface of water, it ripples, but the water itself is not the ripple, and in truth, the ripple does not even exist. Try scooping up a ripple with a cup, you will only find water. You won't find the ripple. Try grasping a wave with your hand. You will only touch water. You won't touch the wave. Try to grab a sound. You will only encounter emptiness. Try to hold a mental image. You will only touch emptiness. Try to grasp anger or happiness. You will only touch emptiness. Try to hold on to the function of knowing. It will dissolve into emptiness. These phenomena arise from the clear, empty, pure element, and they dissolve back into it. Even this body, if it dies and is cremated, if it is burned until it becomes ash, and then the ash is burned to the point of vanishing completely, what remains? Only clear, empty space. Do you understand? All things arise from the clear, pure, original element. Even the entire universe, every star, the sun, every speck of dust, all of it arises from the same origin, clear, pure emptiness, the primordial element. We call this the Big Bang, the eruption from a single point. From that point, energy bursts forth from the pure element, generating friction and creating particles. These particles accumulated, forming dust. The dust clustered together, spinning with electrons, protons, and neutrons revolving around one another, forming a mass of heat, a star. Some of these stars cooled and solidified, becoming planets, and the universe expanded and multiplied, forming countless celestial bodies. All of these arose from clear, pure emptiness, and when these bodies reach their end, like a star that explodes and collapses into a black hole, everything is drawn back in, disintegrating into clear, empty space once again. If any remnants remain, they will be mere particles of dust. The dust will cluster together, forming new stars, appearing and disappearing in an endless cycle of arising and dissolving. This is the nature of all phenomena, arising from emptiness and returning to emptiness, endlessly. The voice arises on its own and dissolves on its own. When we stop speaking, it disappears by itself. Mental images arise on their own and fade away on their own. Have you ever noticed? Feelings of happiness arise on their own and then dissolve. Feelings of suffering arise on their own and then fade away. The function of knowing, sometimes it knows, sometimes it ceases. When we are in deep sleep, everything disappears. But when we start to wake up, the knowing function begins again, perceiving anew, grasping anew, fabricating anew. It is not that going to sleep will prevent us from being reborn. No, that is not it. We need to keep listening to my tapes, understanding over and over again until suddenly, boom, the sense of self breaks apart and a profound realization arises. We recognize that we are the pure element, so clear and pure that it merges with the entire universe. We see that nothing is truly us or ours. Tears flow uncontrollably, and this state of profound clarity becomes constant. This is how it is for me all the time now. There is no sense of self anywhere. It only uses these functions temporarily, or rather, it cannot even be said to use them, for these functions are simply there, doing their work on their own. The voice functions by itself, mental images arise and pass, emotions come and go, the knowing function operates on its own, nothing is us. Everything continues to function as it always has, but without any self to claim ownership of anything. It is all empty, clear, pure, eternally so, and in this state there is no suffering, there is no attachment to anything in this world, and it is clear that there will be no more rebirth. This is why I am here to share the knowledge of mental awakening. Everyone must awaken to this truth, and then no one will suffer anymore. People will live on this earth without conflict, without harming one another. There will only be sharing and supporting one another. People will speak only of this pure element and the joy that arises from liberation. There will be no more killing, no more fighting over land. Why fight? The land belongs to the world, not to anyone. Share it. Why fight and destroy one another over it? This is the knowledge of mental awakening. Everyone must awaken to this knowledge. Everyone must conquer this game. Every child must study this subject. Those who realize the nature of the mind will no longer suffer. They will be liberated from being human. Listen to my tapes and you will not sit around playing games, falling into stress, depression, or despair. Everyone will only listen to the knowledge of mental awakening. Everyone will listen repeatedly until they can teach one another, guide one another, and counsel one another. They will speak only of the mind, of the state of being free from suffering, of the wonders of the mind, because this element is so vast, so extraordinary. But do not fall into the delusion of believing that we are the creator of all things, that we are the greatest, and then become boastful and arrogant. That is not the point. The only feeling that will arise is the desire to share. There is no self. There is only the knowing that says, there is no self. There will be no sense of wanting to boast or show off, only the wish to share this knowledge so that everyone can be freed from suffering. Now it is time to end here. May all of us realize the mind, the life element, the empty, clear, and pure essence swiftly and immediately. May every one of us, without exception, awaken to this truth. May it be so. If you're interested in these teachings on awakening, mind observation, and transcending suffering through wisdom, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments, provide productive feedback, and if you find this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.